something else for you as well, which is rather lovely as well, because when Ernest for Horsfall's friends were trying to think of a way to mark his 105th birthday, they decided, well, maybe 105 birthday cards would be nice. So they put out a bit of an appeal. Could they get to 105?
Of course they could.
They could.
Yeah, 4,000 cards and still counting. From all over the world have been delivered to the World War II veteran. Francis Reid joined him as he took a trip down memory lane to celebrate.
That one's from somebody in the Isle of Lewis.
In your country's hour of need, you stood up.
Ernest may have had a birthday 105 times, but never like this. Thousands of cards, the tally keeps rising. One from the King, one from the Prime Minister, but the rest from people around the world wanting to send their best wishes and wondering what the secret is.
The secret of living, there isn't one that I know of. You just live. My birthday didn't mean anything to me then or even now. You're making more fuss of it than I ever did.
Born in Bradford in 1918 during World War I, he then served in London during the Blitz before joining the Allied campaign in North Africa.
The Axis forces in the desert are in full retreat. There's no shadow of doubt about it. The enemy are on the run.
And then it was on to Italy to maintain tanks.
Io ho capito italiano adesso, e niente dimenticare. I can still speak Italian and I haven't forgotten.
On guard, son!
Later in life he became a pilot, so where better to celebrate his birthday than Blackpool Airfield, met with a Guard of Honour by serving Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Ernest served as one of them at RAF Lynham all those years ago.
It's fantastic because there's not many founder members left now. So obviously Ernest, he's one of our oldest veterans and he's our oldest founder member.
Happy birthday to you.
We're 80 years old now, and thanks to chaps like Ernest, he's put the building blocks in place and we've moved on from then and built on what Ernest set up 80 years ago. So thank you very much, Ernest.
Thank you.
Hooray!
It surprises me that it happens. I don't think I deserve anything different to what those millions of soldiers did.
Do you remember this one, Ernest?
And then a trip to the hangar to see one of the many, many planes Ernest reconditioned. He flew until the age of 93, when companies would no longer insure him, and worked as a light aircraft inspector until the age of 103.
I needed some engineering expertise for my aeroplane, and somebody said, you need to speak to Ernie. I got the expertise I wanted. He tested me out to make sure I could apply the knowledge he'd given me. He's a wealth of knowledge, and even now, if I've got a problem I don't quite understand, I'll ask Ernest. Here's one that you might recognise.
It was Terry who had the idea to make Ernest's birthday one to remember.
I started it with the aim of getting 105 cards. Ernest doesn't have a whole host of friends. At his age, many of his friends, he says quite matter-of-factly, they're dead. So I thought, if we could get 105 cards, I'd be delighted. Well, we had 500 in the first weekend, and now we're at over 4,000. I have now 2 boxes in my car, 7 at home. I open them. I slit them open for Ernest. I pull the card out, and then he and I read them together in slow time. Oh, Blackpool, close to home.
Sylvia, Renee.
And so, after all the excitement, home again. It may be many months before they make their way through these.
OK, Ernest, this next one's from California, in the USA.
I would like to say thank you to everybody who's taken the notice, the time to write a letter.
They are deeply appreciated. Francis Reid, BBC News, Blackpool.
Oh, happy birthday, Ernest.
Yeah, they've got to think about next year, haven't they? We've raised the bar.
Well, it's like Francis said, it's going to take them months to get through all of those cards.
Recycle
Yeah,
them again.
keep going.
That's a lovely story. Just after 6:45. And if you know somebody who's got a story to share about World War II ahead of the 80th anniversary next year, we're really keen to hear from them.
Yeah, the BBC is trying to gather as many first-hand accounts from surviving veterans as possible to keep them for future generations. You can email BBC Breakfast or, of course, get in touch on the BBC News website.